let's first start to create data catalog. We need to create two data catalogs, one for MySQL and one for the Redshift. This catalog creation will create the metadata, or you can say the table definitions required for the data shifting from source to target. In our case study, MySQL database is our source and Redshift is the target. So let's start with the catalog creation. It's very simple steps. There is no need to have high skills for creation of the data catalog. Just click on the new database. I named it MySQL catalog and database. MySQL catalog. These tools are optional, so I left blank both of the fields. Just create database. Here is a database created with the name MySQL catalog. I will add another database, Redshift catalog. All the information of the target database will be stored in Redshift catalog. Just press the create button. There are two catalogs I created. There is no table in here, you can see, and Redshift is also blank. So I created the databases in my catalog. Next, I need to create two connections for the databases. One for MySQL, it will connect Glue Crawler to the MySQL, and other one for the Redshift. With the Redshift endpoint, it will create crawler to communicate with the target database and finally create the metadata. So let's start creating a new connection. Just press the button for create connection. Enter the connection name, as I simply use the MySQL _RDS, as I am using the RDS in the same account, so I used it as a RDS com and selecting the Amazon RDS. You can choose the JDBC if your database on other account in AWS. If you are in the same account where your glue and your database in the same account, you can use the Amazon RDS, Redshift and some of other databases. In our cases, I am using the Amazon RDS. As I select Amazon RDS, all the available RDSs in my account will be displayed in my next list. Here you choose the engine. There are different database engine available in RDSs, as RDS providing the databases. If you use the JDBC, then you just only need to create the IP address of the IP address, or you can say the endpoint of the database with the port and some of the other parameters required for the JDBC connectivity. I'm just selecting my SQL, and here I will select my database instances. For the security purpose, I just left it blank. You can choose your own database instance. I just named it like my dev database. This is my DB user having the select rights. I just place this name to share with you guys too about the rights, what rights database user needs. You can give admin here, but for the security purpose you should use the user with the selected rights. It will be better for the security purpose. And here you can place your password here, let's say this, and press the button to create connection. This will create a one connection for my SQL. I will create another connection for the Redshift. RDS underscore con. You can name it whatever you want. In this case, I will use the JDBC connection because my RDS is in another account. So I just place the endpoint of my Redshift with the JDBC. You can see for the format of the JDBC connection, you can follow this. Your endpoint and the port and DB user name and the password. Here we go. This is the simplest way to create the JDBC connection. You can use these parameters if you are using the VPC subnet and the security group with your Amazon Redshift. Otherwise, you can create a connection. That's it. We done our second step. You can see there are two connections, Redshift RDS connection and MySQL RDS connection. Right now, we just create two databases and two connection. Finally, we will writing in our last step, we will create a crawler which will use both the database names and the connection, and this crawler will create the metadata as we earlier discussed. Just we need to press the create crawler. You can name it MySQL crawler. You must use the specific. Here you can see is your data is already mapped to glue tables. No. If yes, then you can press it. Yes, we are doing it at the first time, so we will use this option. Just add the data source. We created data sources with the JDBC. We selected it. There are many data sources available in data source S3, JDBC, DynamoDB, Data Lake, and the MongoDB. We used the JDBC, so we selected it, and by default this will show my all the connection have been created earlier. I just created two, so it is showing my two connection. First of all, I am getting the metadata from MySQL. This is not hard coded to create the metadata for the Redshift or MySQL. You can choose. There is no sequence. There is no requirement for the data for creating the metadata. We choose the connection MySQL and the path create state at database schema, table name, the format or the schema in MySQL. This is very important configuration because it depends that you need to create all the metadata of all your table, or you can select one table, or you can exclude some of the table from this option. So I am creating metadata for all the tables, so I select my database name. It is HR system path and the percentage sign. This will create metadata from this schema to my data catalog. Let me explain it. If there are 15 tables in your MySQL, under the HR underscore systems, the crawler will create the 15 tables in Glue catalog tables. I just only want to create a one table. The table name is, in my case, is apply. So I just add a JDBC data source which I already created. So and click on the next. Use your role. You are assigned to your user and click on the next. In the step 4, we just only select the database catalog schema we already created and click on the next. Our crawler is configured.